Brothers, I want to bring an individual and a story to your attention because I think that more people need to talk about this, need to highlight this, and need to find these sorts of people and just put them right there in the spotlight, because sunlight really is the best disinfectant. So let me introduce you to the person we're going to be talking about today. It is a person named Shinobazu. I'm not going to say the X's at the end. The X's are silent. Shinobazu. From everything that I've heard, this guy is an egregious piece of shit. And as you would imagine, because he is such an egregious piece of shit, he's apparently rubbing shoulders with Dan Clancy. Dan Clancy, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. I don't know why every terrible pervert, retard, degenerate, I don't know why every single person that has this disgusting past, you decide, I'm going to be friends with that person. But this is a post saying Twitch CEO Dan Clancy came to our event and did a live Q&A. So apparently this guy has been co-hosting parties and putting on these events and has the endorsement and the blessing from the CEO of Twitch. Because of course you do. Now, I want to show you a little bit about who this person is before we get into the main topic of the story, because I think that introducing you to a person will help explain why we're doing the story, why we're talking about it. You know, of all the stories that I could cover, why did I feel it was important to talk about this person? There are many different reasons here. But first, I'm going to let this speak for itself. September 10th. This was the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This is a post that says black people already can't help themselves and making fun of Charlie Kirk being killed. Now, somebody responded to that with a video clip of Denzel Washington playing Malcolm X, and this was retweeted by this individual here. See, it is the official account. This isn't somebody else pretending. It is him. Now, let's see what this person thought was appropriate to retweet on the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated in cold blood.
Well, for the white man to ask the black man why he hates him is like the wolf asking the sheep, or the rapist asking the rape, do you hate me? The white man is in no moral position to accuse the black man of anything.
Well, this is a black man asking the question.
What would you call an educated Negro with a BA or an MA or a BS or a PhD? I'll tell you, you call him a nigger. That's what the white man calls him, a nigger. See, you have to understand this type of thinking. And to understand this type of man, you must understand that historically there were two types of slaves, the house Negro and the field Negro. Now, the house Negro, he lived in the house next to his master, in the big house, either in the basement or up in the attic. He dressed pretty good. He ate pretty good, what the master left him. He loved his master. I say he loved his master better than the master loved himself. If the master said, we got a nice house here, you say, yeah, boss, we got a nice house here. Master's house caught on fire, the house Negro would be the one who'd run to put the blaze out. If the master got sick, he said, what's the matter, boss? We sick? We sick. You see, this is the thinking of the house Negro. Now, if another slave came up to him and said, let's run away, let's separate, let's get away from this cruel master, he said, why? What's better than what we got here? Run away, I'm not going anywhere. This is the house Negro. In those days, we called him the house nigger. And that's what we call him today, because we still got a lot of house niggers running around.
Just despicable. Just despicable. What an absolutely subhuman, just vile response to a man being assassinated in cold blood. You make it about race, and you say, well, this is my justification for being a hateful, pathetic, fucking loser. Which is exactly what the fuck you are. Anyway, now that we've established who this person is, and I think we've established beyond a reasonable doubt that this person is a piece of shit, let's look at the main crux of why I've chosen to highlight this person. There was a person that I reached out to that gave me a lot of information about this person. It was one of the girls that he had managed, because there were several girls that this person was the manager of. And the way that he treated them was absolutely disgusting. It was reprehensible. And you're about to see, in the video we're going to watch, the way this guy would treat people, even those under his employ who trusted him. Let's take a look. This is from an account called Bibbly Darling. I'm not staying silent about this. We are not letting you walk around TwitchCon pretending like you did nothing wrong. Oh, and we are still waiting for your responses, and this is apparently his name and his girlfriend. So, without further ado, brothers, let's take a look at this person who is coming forward about their manager, who was a person that was rubbing shoulders with Dane Clancy.
My ex-manager is attending TwitchCon along with his girlfriend. If you don't know, he harassed his previous talents, doxed them, locked them out of their accounts, and verbally threatened them when they wanted to leave. He also victim-blamed the girls that got drugged from last year's TwitchCon party that he hosted. If you're interested in reading more, I've linked the document we wrote. So, if you're going to TwitchCon, please be careful about who you're meeting up with. For your safety and for the safety of the previous talents that are attending, like myself, do not invite him to anything or attend anything that he is involved with. Frankly, I am not comfortable being around the man who gaslit, threatened, and stole accounts from me. We do know that he is attending one of the parties outside of TwitchCon, but I will not be naming which one for privacy purposes. Out of caution for your safety as a streamer and a person, once again I ask that you be mindful. And with all that in consideration, please have a great time at TwitchCon. And I hope to see you there.
Well, sister, I can't even begin to imagine a scenario where I would ever go to TwitchCon. I don't even begin to see the upside. Apparently there are perverts and creeps like this guy walking around. Dan Clancy might be there. Holy shit. But I was reached out to by an individual in this particular situation, and they gave me some very interesting information. And they said that this guy not only had harassed them, locked them out of their account, and was a general nuisance at the end when, they basically let this guy go, but on top of that, I'm told that this guy had sexually harassed them. And what he was doing was, in order to extract more money, he was trying to pressure these girls into doing sexual content. OnlyFans, Fansly, whatever you want to call it. He was trying to pressure them, and he would say lewd and suggestive things at that end. That was confirmed by somebody who was part of the main story, somebody that I had talked to. So, and by the way, they sent me a full Google Doc with all sorts of stories and information. And I wanted to highlight this because it's just another pervert, just another freak associated with Twitch. Amazon, you really need to do some cleaning of house. I don't know why it is that every other person that we find out has some affiliation with Twitch, whether as staff, whether as somebody, behind the scenes as a, I'm a Twitch affiliate, I'm a Twitch partner, rubbing shoulders with Dan Clancy, they all turn out to be perverts or weirdos or just these creepy, terrible, obnoxious people. I think more people need to call this stuff out, and this needs to be elucidated far more than it actually is. And the information about this is pretty solid. You have multiple people talking about this, and by the way, it's not just this one person, there are other people talking about this as well.
And go from there. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? December 2023, a month away from debuting this fancy ass new model, and I post saying I need help, and I get reached out to by FlaskGG/Shinobazu. You can find him on Twitter, XxShinobazuxX. My first red flag, but your girl can't see red apparently. We decide to work on a trial time together for a month to help with debut and go from there. I get thrown into all these group chats with a lore writer, thumbnail graphic guy, and an assistant for Shino, etc. He has Google Docs for me with stuff. He's on it. It goes great. I sign a long-time contract. Keep in mind, during this time previously, dude has been all up in my life and stream life. pretty much acting as a friend and stuff, gives me his personal phone number to call him anytime I need help. His DMs are open at all times. All the things, right? Barely 2 months in and he starts ghosting. Not just me, but the other talents I've made friends with. He just disappears for weeks at a time, and he comes back and he's like, oh, life has been hard, but I've been working on the stuff while I was gone, all these things for you guys. It's going to be announced soon. I can't say anything right now. It's got to be kept quiet and stuff, but I've been working, I've been cooking. And then he'd do good for a couple weeks, and then rinse, repeat. We hit autumn of 2024, and shit starts getting weird. We find out that his assistant in all of our business discords and group chats is an alt account for his girlfriend, who is also the lore writer and someone he's introduced to us recently as a talent. Remember that part because it is important for later. We all go to TwitchCon together. He gets us a house, which we paid for. Flask Shino helps Blurp with a huge VTuber party on Friday night. A lot of people were there, stuff like that. And Orca, who is a friend and another talent of Shino at the time, was staying with us. And she was at the party, and she had her drink spiked along with another friend of hers. Keep in mind, we don't see Shino once the party starts. He gives us drink tickets and he disappears. Orca has people take her home because she's not okay. I was drinking. I didn't find out about it until later. And the next morning at the house, Orca is visibly still not okay and tells us about what happened. She and her friend...
Let me just interrupt and give people a very, very important piece of advice. And by the way, this isn't blaming the girls, but it is just a general rule. Don't fucking drink around people that have anything to do with Twitch. These are all left-wing perverts and degenerates and fucking freaks. Again, I'm not blaming these girls. What happened to them was fucking horrible. Having their drinks spiked because these fucking, like, look at this guy. Look at guys like this. Like, it's not this guy in particular, but it's people like him. These homunculus, gross, immoral, godless creeps. They go out of their way to be like, I'm going to get with a girl tonight. And they think that the only way that they can do it is by getting them on some heavy, heavy, heavy medication. So fuck these people. And as a general rule, if you're going to a con like this, don't drink anything that isn't in a bottle that you brought yourself. And if the cap is loose, if it's like, well, you know, the cap is kind of loose, don't fucking drink it. Bring your own drinks. Don't drink alcohol around these people. Don't drink alcohol around these people. They're fucking freaks. These people are gross. Protect yourself, ladies.
I think her name was Amuki, posted to Twitter about it, warning people to be careful and stuff, which, you know, as one does, right? She's allowed to do that. It happened to her, and she tells people, hey, be careful, this happened to me. So Shino literally disappears for all of TwitchCon. I can tell the only time I saw him was whenever it was like the night of the like block party. That's it. The entirety of Saturday, he was asleep on the beanbag floor, just asleep, literally at TwitchCon. But whatever, right? We get back from TwitchCon, and this is where everything kind of hits the fan, right? Bibley's contract runs up. She's one of the other talents that's in the document. She tries to renegotiate her contract based on the last year and the amount or lack of help she received, and he flips out. He changes the password to her business email, deletes her YouTube and TikTok accounts, went on a full smear campaign that she was crashing out, crazy, getting...
Like, this girl up here, I don't even think she... I think this girl here does a much better job of demonstrating just the sheer quantity of shit this guy put this girl through. Deleting her YouTube account? Like, that is some next level petty shit. But then again, a guy that would be that inhuman to repost to, you know, Charlie Kirk being assassinated with that clip about why it's okay to hate white people, we just start to get a flavor and a feeling about who and what these people fucking are. And it just is so disgusting. Yeah, shame on these guys. They should be forever ostracized. Why is this guy not banned from Twitch? Why does this girl have to make a video saying stay away from him? Why are these people not permanently banned from Twitch forever? Both on the platform and from the parties.
Getting blackout drunk. He pulled the rest of us into an emergency meeting to tell us that she would be lashing out at us to hurt him, through us, all kinds of stuff. He tells us about having to call her mother because she almost died from alcohol poisoning during a VR chat meetup. That didn't happen, by the way. Since this, he's gotten her Twitter suspended and tried to get into her Fansly account recently. So follow Bibs on Blue Sky, by the way. Bibbly darling.
I didn't know that she had a Fansly. I didn't know that she had an account. The only thing that I heard from people associated with this was that he was trying to get women into it. I didn't realize they already had those type of accounts. But even still, I'm not going to go to Fansly and check that shit. I don't need to go to OnlyFans. But the fact of the matter is, regardless of if she had a Fansly, regardless of if she had an OnlyFans, it doesn't mean that she deserves to be treated this way in any way, shape, matter, or form. And this guy is a fucking creep. And somebody that was sexually harassing these girls in addition to everything else. What a fucking animal. And you guys know me. You guys know me. I'm not here to virtue signal. I'm not here to play that game. I'm definitely not going to simp for anyone. But given the information that we have, this guy is an absolute animal and he needs to be highlighted. Because more people need to be aware that this sort of behavior is not acceptable. Ever. You know, just being a gross, creepy, degenerate, fucking loathsome left-wing retard that behaves in this sort of fucking way. A petulant man-child. You're gonna wear a Naruto t-shirt, fine. But the fact is, you don't have to actually act like the children from the cartoon show that you watch. You're gonna go out on this tirade. Oh, she deserved it. Or get the fuck out of here, you fucking freak. Keep in mind, this guy is who we're talking about. This weirdo that stuck his tongue out. It's unreal. It's unreal. This is who and what these people are. Absolutely despicable.
Because she can't even post this on Twitter because he literally will not leave her alone. Okay? Wild stuff, right? At this point, he also tells everyone that Orca and Imuki lied about the roofie drinks. He gets Imuki blacklisted with Blurp and other TwitchCon related events, tells us all about it, right? He tells us and others that Orca was just stupid and drank too much and didn't know how to hold her liquor, which is pretty fucking fucked up, but it happened, right? From here, it's just constant, like, erratic behavior from Shino. He's paranoid. He constantly boasts about having Bibly blacklisted in a VTuber management server, something to do with, like, a water fountain? I'm not sure. But there's a VTuber management server, and no one will ever work with her again. He uses her as, like, a warning to us if we step out of line. Like, he talks about it constantly. And he makes little jokes about it. And it absolutely was a threat to us, but whatever, you know. He would send us like screenshots of him in VCs for their meetings, and with him like having these huge meetings, teaching all of these like baby VTuber managers or whatever, and he thought he was so proud of it, and he'd tell us all about it and how they all hero worshipped him or whatever. And pretty much whenever he told them not to work with Bibly, they were going to listen to him because they wanted his advice more than they wanted some crazy cat girl as a client, I guess. I don't know, whatever. So that's crazy. But at this point, we're kind of to like January 2025. My contract ends. However, he convinces me to sign a temporary 2-month contract at a discount because He owes me 13 full-length videos and 70-something edited clips. I had to force him to add it into the 2-month contract, the exact numbers of them, because he didn't want to. He argues with me about it, all this stuff. And the only reason I did it was because I had played so much for these videos and clips, and I knew if I didn't do that, I wouldn't get them, right? So I was like, I'll just do the 2 months, have as little interaction with him as possible, and get the clips, get the videos, get the fuck out, right? If only. So in February, I was starting another server for VSMP, which is a large group of content creators that I started to play SMP style games. Right now we're playing Rust, whatever. Follow us on Twitter. But by myself, without his help. 45 minutes before the server opens, with over 100 creators waiting for me for this to open and me trying to start my stream and everything else, he decided to pull me out of a call with my mods into a private VC to berate me for 10 minutes for not sharing Lisa, which is, by the way, the girlfriend and the talent and the lore person and the alt account that was his assistant. Lisa. Because I wasn't sharing her debut stuff that I didn't even know was being posted. But she apparently posted to Twitter about it, and I didn't share it, and so I was being mean and causing drama. So he pulls me out of this call 45 minutes before my big ass server starts to berate me because I wasn't sharing his girlfriend's debut stuff. You know, the day I spent like working my ass off to get the server ready, and he calls me and the other talents mean girls. He says that we're the seniors to her freshmen and that we're bullying her. I recorded it. It's in the document. You want to listen to it? Go ahead.
Yeah, by the way, I have access to that document. So if anyone has any doubts, if they want to say, well, that's not true, I have access to this document. I was given it to, handed over by one of these girls. So I have access to that document. And so I can confirm that there is a treasure trove of information about this. This isn't some like, oh, well, we made this Google Doc and this is how it feels. No, there are substantiated bits of evidence in relation to this. Yeah, and by the way, any of these girls, I'm sure would be happy to share that Google Doc again. This is an absolutely horrendous and disgusting situation where you have a person that, I mean, just in every conceivable way fails as a man, as a businessman, as a leader of this group. You know, you are wanting to be a manager. You try to bring all these people in, and then you fuck up that irreversibly. It's shocking.
I took time after that, and I talked to my therapist about like the interaction. Together, we wrote a message to him, laying boundaries out and explaining to him why like this wasn't okay, right? He called me after that and laughed at me. We spent 3 hours talking with him, telling me how I was wrong, arguing with me about my boundaries and how I was wrong about my boundaries. And that I was being a bad person by not using my platforms to help her, even though I don't really know her outside of drama that she has caused between all the talents, which I don't really go into, but there's a lot of it. It was a lot of stuff like, oh my god, Bibli, Shino is mad at you because you told Plot this and Plot told Guilty and Guilty told him. Like, I'm not even joking. We have the screenshots of it. They're probably in the fucking doc somewhere, but shit like that, right? Like, I don't know her, and this is the only interaction I've had with her, and the fact of the matter is that if he would have just sent it to me and I saw it after the stream and everything, I would have probably shared it, but because of this, I didn't. So that's beside the point, right? He spends all this time telling me all about how I'm a bad person or whatever. I didn't add this call. It's a 3-hour call. I didn't want to sit through it again and make sure there wasn't any doxing information I needed to like bleep out or whatever, but I have it. It's recorded, and I will post it if I need to. After this, he goes into the VCs in my VSMP Discord with people that are like playing and doing VSMP things and like a big voice chat, and he starts acting so erratically that people are DMing me asking if he's drunk. And during this call, he promoted her debut to people and sent her the like debut trailer and all this shit. This is post my boundaries, by the way. He reached out to multiple of my friends offering sponsorships to watch her debut live on their streams. I don't see an issue with that. That's whatever. It happens. That happens a lot more than people think, and that's whatever. It's advertising, right? But what I do have a problem with is that he also offered to pay them an extra $100 to $200, depending on how big they were, to raid her. That's against Twitch TOS, by the way.
That's true. I mean, going through this, it's a horror story. A lot of these girls are going, wow, this guy is like rubbing shoulders with the upper echelon of Twitch, and apparently, friends with Dan Clancy. This guy's got connections. This guy is going to help make my career. From their perspective, you can see how appealing it is. And the guy, seems like he has his shit together. This is just pure scam bullshit. And man, how unbelievably unfair that this guy just gets to walk around and there are no consequences. Holy shit. This story, for me, when I first heard about this, I couldn't believe, well, I could, but I didn't want to believe. I really did. Part of me wanted to hold out hope that there was a glimmer, a semblance, an iota, a scintilla of decency at Twitch where the entire corporation wasn't rotten to its core. But this situation has elucidated and established beyond a reasonable doubt that there is an entire infestation and network of perverts and degenerates and demons and these fucking freaks that exist there. And they almost prey on these girls that have no fucking... they have no idea. Like, they go into this, oh, well, my friend vouched for this guy, or I've seen somebody else, go in with this guy, not realizing that sometimes the people that you have to look out for the most are the people with the biggest numbers or the people with the most influence, because they think that they can get away with anything, or the people that are the scabs that are on the periphery, that they're not very big, but they're just inside enough to try to weaponize that clout because they don't really have anything else in their life to put them on that sort of level. So they try to, exaggerate themselves to make them seem like they're a big player. You got to look out for those guys. Holy shit. This is a horrifying story.
Imagine paying for viewers. Couldn't be me. Pop off, though, queen. Personally, I told them to take his free money, and I know for a fact that he paid at least 8 people to do this. Not all of them took the raid payment, but he did pay at least 8 people to do that, so that's really fun. After this, he pretty much ghosted me for every weekly meeting, minus a couple where he only wanted to talk about a specific project that I had been working on since October. A big project that I put my whole fish ussy into with over 2K worth of assets, days of work, and suddenly this is what he wants to talk to me about. He chat GPTs a bunch of stuff and he puts it in a Google document and he decides he wants to get sponsors for this event, and that is how he decides that he wants to keep me on a contract right after this temporary comes out. He has all these big plans and stuff, and this is what he uses because he knows it's my passion project that I'm working on, and he's using it against me. He wants to double the amount I'm paying him monthly to $2,500. I'm not okay with that price, but I'm hearing him out, right? Whatever. He spends these 2 months of February and March talking about these sponsors, but never showed anything for them. And then 2 weeks before the contract ends out in the middle of March, we have a final call, and he informs me that he owns 50% of this project because he worked on it. And that I had to sign a contract agreeing to that, and if I didn't, he was just going to do it without me. He tells me that I'm not worth people working on this project with me, and that they are only willing to work on it because of him bringing value to the project. Full call recorded. It's in the doc.
I mean, we start to get a picture of who and what this homunculus creature is. And, I mean, every line is just another dagger. It's just devastating. I don't know how this person comes back from this. I don't know how they rehabilitate themselves or their career. But holy shit. This is embarrassing.
Literally pushes me into a corner and tries to force me to agree to giving him 50% ownership of my IP. He also claims that he owns other talents events that he's worked on in the past that he absolutely does not. It's pretty gross. Anyways, in the doc, I get pretty upset about this. I tell him I need some time to gather my thoughts, and he never speaks to me again. I had to email him to inform him that my contract was over and that I needed him to send me the clips owed to me, and then that was it. I have not spoken to him since. I have sent him messages. He has not responded to any of them. I've sent professional emails, letting him know like he had so and so time and that the contract was officially over, blah blah blah. He has not responded to any of them at all. However, he has since been working hard to talk as much shit about me as possible, such as telling people I've been stealing. I've got my receipts. Good luck with that slander. I am a whole ass adult and I do not pay for shit late. I was exactly 1 day late in January because I was on vacation. So anyways, good luck.
Okay, typical female behavior. I don't pay for anything late. Except for this one. Look, it doesn't undermine what she's saying here. It's just funny. It's funny to me.
Good luck with that shit. He's telling people that I'm doing, quote, illegal things. The only thing that he's referred to specifically is recorded calls. But I already talked to a lawyer, and as long as one party knows it's legal in Nevada, where he is located, that's not a dox, by the way. He's the Twitch meetup leader or whatever for Vegas and talks about it openly, about how he...
A Twitch meetup leader. Oh, Twitch. Oh, Twitch. Man, Twitch is collecting L's like Pokemon cards. Holy shit.
He is starting to run Twitch-related events that they're paying him for, so that's super fun.
So he's officially affiliated with Twitch. How fucking embarrassing.
He has since deleted every single DM he has ever had with me, starting all the way back to December 2023. Every single one of them are it looks like I'm talking to nobody in our DMs. It's kind of crazy. He removed me from every group chat he could, and the ones he couldn't, he deleted his messages from there, and it's like he just doesn't exist, right? He claims to be doing this because he's protecting his IP and his advice, but I don't know, dude. I paid for that shit already, and it wasn't worth it, but all right. It's more likely that he just doesn't want me leaking all the conversations about him being okay with AI art, all the times he tells me that I'm not good enough for things.
Oh, I agree on the AI art part. I totally agree on AI art, but telling you that you're not good enough for things, well, I mean, listen, I've had interactions with this person here, and that's not great. But the fact is that if she can help highlight this story and really elucidate what a piece of garbage this guy is, I'm willing to use her.
Or similar ways that he wants to bring me down, or him talking shit about previous and current talents. But your girl keeps records. Check out the doc. Follow my girls, Bibbly Darling, Guilty Thorns, Little Knee, and my one anonymous queen. They all have stories that deserve to be shared, even if it's just the relief of having it all out into the open.
Yeah. So I've talked to one of those girls, and yeah, I've gotten information. They sent me the Google Doc, and so I've taken a look, and I thought it was worth making a video. And I think that beyond any sort of basic commentary, regardless of, oh, by the way, yeah, this guy's a retarded piece of shit. Hassan Glazer. Regardless of who these girls are or whatever other consideration, the fact of the matter is that in this particular story, You had somebody that was taken advantage of by a manager, somebody that is affiliated with Twitch officially, somebody that rubs shoulders with Dan Clancy. And I think that this needs to be a stain for Twitch. Every time one of these perverts, every time one of these freaks oozes their way out of the woodwork, I am going to be there to shine a giant light. Because these people are genuinely awful. And they hurt genuine people. And I don't think there are enough people in the content creator space that are willing to speak out about stuff like this. Because more often than not, they're more worried about, well, what about my career? I don't want to piss off Dan Clancy. What if I get banned from Twitch? Well, I don't care if I get banned from Twitch. The truth is more important. I barely get any views on Twitch anyway. Most of my views come from YouTube and Kick. So, yeah. I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to highlight this guy. I think he's a piece of shit. For those who need a refresher on who this guy is, this is his Twitch his Twitter account. I mean, one of the gayest, one of the just absolute gayest profile pictures I've ever seen. But, yeah, what a piece of garbage. Anyway, brothers, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for indulging me with this. Have a blessed day. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you next time.